and see we do record it. All right, so I've got my laptop here so we can jump right into Sawgrass and kind of talk about setting up your images. We have some really fun projects today. We're going to be talking about earrings and adding those to your fall and winter markets, getting you guys ready to get into selling mode. I know we're kind of all still in summer mode, but we do have some really fun time coming up and lots of opportunity to if you're doing a market or making gifts for people. These are great fun projects to make the earrings, and then they also, this information translates into keychains or anything like that that you want to do. The earrings are like a quarter of an inch, maybe even a little bit thinner than a quarter of an inch MDF wood, and it has the sublimation finish on there. So when you print on them, when you heat your design onto the blank, you really get like a really nice design on it. So I think that's a really fun project. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we can get started with setting up your design in design space, not design space. Sorry, oops. I didn't leave out of my meeting, did I? No. Okay. In my Sawgrass design. So when you come into your design, now it's funny because last week Rhonda was talking about social selling and making sure your account set up. And I had made a note to myself to make sure that I added my picture onto my account, which I forgot to do, and I had even written it down. So if you haven't already set up your account, do make sure that you add your picture to your account so that people know when they go to your store, they're hitting your store. So you can really add that little customization feature right onto there. And then you can, people will be able to find your designs. So let's go ahead and jump into the design section. Now, if you had a template for the blank, you could definitely find that template and add that and design right from the template. If you don't have a template, you're going to open up the Open Custom Canvas, which is what we're going to do today. Now, my earrings are, I have these round earrings we're going to work with first. I have some teardrop earrings, which are very fun. So I do have and actually, if I'll stop sharing for 1 second, if we can, Rhodes, go to the overhead camera. I use this caliper machine. It's not really a machine, but it's a digital caliper. And as I move my distance, I can see in inches or millimeters how big something is. So if I took my earring and I wanted to see the size of my earring, it's 1.16 inches. So close to a 1.25 inch, but not quite. It's more like 1 1/8 of an inch. So if I made my design 1.5 with keeping my actual design space at 1.16 inch of my circle, then I would know that the majority of my design needs to fit within that circle. And I'll tell you why that's important. Let me grab another one while we're in the overhead. I think my packaging said these were 1.25 inch or 1.5 inch circles. So I did my design one of the designs based on that size. And you can see here where it cut off the edge. And so I pulled out my caliper and I said, oh, these are a little bit smaller than I was expecting them to be based on the packaging. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you have a tool like this, you can always do your measurement right on your circle and your teardrop to get exactly the right size that you need. So I just know that my shape needs to go in that 1.16 inch space. Okay, so how does that translate into your design? So let me share my screen again. So I'll just do my canvas size, this about the size of a piece of paper, 8.5 by 11. And then we're just going to design. Now I do make it a little bit smaller than the 8.5 by 11. So I like to just, since I'm working with circles, I'll grab a circle shape and I'm going to put one on my canvas and make it that 1.16 inch. And then, so I know that's going to be about my design size. And I'll take out the center and just leave the stroke on the edge. So I can kind of, if I need to put it over something and see where that fits, I'll know how big I need to make it. Then we're going to go add another circle, and I'll make this one 1.25 inch because that's ultimately how big my design will be. We'll remove that center and then add the stroke on the outside. Can I get that down to 1? Oops. Let's see. Okay. So I'll kind of have those 2 circles set up, and then I can select both of my circles, and using the align tool, I can just align those in the vertical center and the horizontal center. Oops. Just do this. Vertical center, horizontal, vertical, and horizontal. Okay, so there's about where my circles needs to be in size. So you can zoom in and make sure you've got it the right, as we're designing it, I might zoom in a little bit. So once I have my shape, then I'm going to come in and I can add designs. So if you're doing a market, you may want to find something that is seasonally relevant. Let's see, designs. I always get surprised when there's new designs in the design center. So let's see if there's anything new here, or we've got the Olympics. I'm still so excited for the Olympics, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited for the Paralympics that start in, I think, 2 weeks. So that's going to be fun. We're not done with the athletics yet. But let's find just something fun. If you wanted to do, there was one that was really cute, like a sporty one. Let's see if I can find the sporty one here. Because one thing I always think of in the fall is we really ramp up on sports options. So, your football, your soccer, your cheerleading, baseball is a year-long sport for us in Northern Virginia. So, you've always got baseball going. Okay. So I don't have any design. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought I had seen a design that would work, but maybe it's just hiding for me. We've got all of our countries and everything like that. So you could throw one of those in there. Let's see. All right. I'm just going to go back and I'll go into the elements and the graphics library, and we'll just pull in some sports elements from here. So you can add images to your earrings. You can add, you could just do, like, let's say if we wanted to do a little heart, this little soccer heart, and we'll make the design about 1 inch. So it would fit right into that circle. So you need to go just a little bit smaller. We put it at 0.75, 3/4 of an inch there. And we'll get that a little bit tinier in there. So this would be for somebody who was a sports fan, for our soccer players. And then you can add in, if you wanted to add in a background to your circle. So once you've got your shape selected, if we want to add in some designs onto that, we can come back and change that, add like a blue color to the circle. Not that one. So there, okay. So let's just change this to like a nice light blue color, maybe goes with your school colors. I always think of soccer players with blue. And then you won't need the outline stroke on your finished earring. So you can do your earring like that. And then maybe you can, I think I want to, did I delete my other layer? I want to go with the bigger layer here too. Let's change that color as well. That might be the smaller one. There we go. And then again, we don't need the outline. We can completely remove that. Okay. And then we'll go back to our layers and we'll bring our soccer ball up to the top. So I've got the circle that will actually be my earring. And then I have a little bit of a bleed on the outside of it. And then I'll have the hole from earring. Now you could add, like your school mascot, go Warhawks, go dogs, whatever it might be to this earring. When you're ready, you'll save your canvas and then we'll print it out. Now, what I like about this is I'm going to save this to round earrings. And then we will print this out. Our earrings is a set of earrings, so you need to have two for the front and two for the back. Now you could do a different image for the back than the front, or you could do, your left and right earrings. But when you're talking about social selling, as Rhonda was last week, let me see, football earring designs. And if I were selling this, I would say, yes, it's customizable. They could change it from a football to from a soccer ball to a football to cheerleading, anything you wanted to do. And then you could add your hashtags there. Now, when we're ready to print it, we do need to have, like I said, the two sides. So I'm going to show you how we're going to flip that in my PrintMate. And let me get, so my line is working its way across, you can see. Okay, I'll stop share there. So as I'm waiting for that to come through PrintMate, I'm going to go ahead and prep my earring blanks. So I will do, your usual, the alcohol on the hardwood. And you want to make sure that there's no little fibers on there or anything like that. So I just use a fiber-free cloth with some alcohol and I'll wipe those down with that and make sure that those are all nice and no fingerprints on there or anything as we get to designing those up. Pop that on there. And then we'll do the same with this one. Okay. There we go. I seem to open PrintMate. Let's see. I'll share my screen again so you guys can see in PrintMate how this comes through and how we're going to add multiple versions of it onto one screen. So I'm going to just update later. I hope that won't impact me. So when you come onto the my PrintMate or my print, we're going to multiply the earrings. We need 4 of these earrings on one sheet of paper. And I'm going to increase my space a little bit here. So I have some space in between. And then that's just going to give it a minute. So I'll get our printer. And while that's thinking, it's generating the preview, I'm going to select my, I do hardboard keychain for this product. And then you definitely want to mirror, always mirror, even though this is just a little soccer ball, I like to mirror it in case I put text on it or anything like that. And it's going to be a vibrant design, not photographic. Oh. Oh, I know. It put it on each different page because I made my page super big. Sorry, let me explain. So you see how up here it says 4 of 4? And that's because my paper size was a 10 by 8-inch paper size. So let me come back in and I'm going to fix that. This is I think part of the good thing about doing these live classes is we get to, you guys get to see the mistakes I make and how to fix it. So let me come back into my design. And actually, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to come into Okay, I want to come back here and change this up before I print it. So let's go preview it. Let me change this. So I have, see my page size is 8 by 10.5. So I probably should have just done a quick copy and paste on this. And you can gang up multiple designs on one sheet. So I would, if I were getting ready for a market, I would do a big variety of earrings at the same time. And then I would be able to print all those off at one time. Okay, so let me just get the little space here. And then I don't have to do the repeat. Okay, so we'll just print that out. All right. So while that's working its way through, I'll keep my eye and make sure I have that all set up. I do have some designs here that have some text, and it says just here for the tailgate for the earrings. So what I'll do is I'll just center my design on the earring, center the earring around the design. So I have the blue space, and then I can just put my earring right on top of that. Sometimes for designs like these, to make sure I'm centered, I do like to use my light box. You guys see me pull that out frequently when we're lining something up. So let me just change this up here. So if I put my design down here, I can even have a template that will show how to line up my design. So if I've got my earring right there, I can place my earring and make sure I have the whole of my earring in the right place and it's centered on that design. So we'll just do that. And then we're going to attach your earring to the blank like this. And then we'll do the same thing with the next one. So I'll just bring this guy, slide it over. I'll use my template here that I've got underneath with the circle, and then I'll line up my hole on my design. That way I know that I have my design lined up the same way. And then we're ready for our sublimation sandwich, which is part of my favorite part because I know like once I get to that point, it's like, oh, we're ready to go. All right, so I've got that there. I'm gonna grab some parchment paper. Oops, that was one thing I forgot to grab. Here we go. So again, you want to use your butcher paper. I said parchment paper, but I do use butcher paper. You want to use your butcher paper to create your sandwich. You can also use like blank cardstock, like white printer paper to do your blowout. But basically, you're going to put butcher paper behind your print, your blank, and then more butcher paper. Now, when you put it in your Rose, if we want to go to the front one, our front facing camera, I think I can, I've got my heat press set up. So I'm going to turn it over. So the sublimation is on the top. So your sandwich now will go butcher paper, your blank, your printout, and then more butcher paper. And that just goes in your heat press, 400 degrees for 60 seconds. So we'll just pop that right in and hit start. Okay. Now this, you do want to, I do tend to take it off while it's hot so that the design doesn't stick, the paper doesn't stick to the hardwood. Plus we're going to flip it over and do the same design on the other side, just here for the tailgate. So this is a fun design. It is, mine is light blue with a blue writing on it. This was the design I think I had pulled up in the software. So I'm a little bit surprised I couldn't find it easily. But you can change the color on this design in your software. So that's always a fun thing to do, is just to kind of change it up. And you can change your background color and you can change the font color on that design. So I must have looked, it must not have been a sport. Maybe I should have looked up tailgate under those completed designs. So we're just going to pull over our sandwich here. And then you just pull off your paper. And these are hot. So once we get it removed, we will let it cool off a bit before I put on the other one, the other side of it. But you can see that it has a little bit of the blowout around the edge of your design. And that's really why you want to have your extra paper there so that the design doesn't transfer onto your heat press. Okay, so let me just do the next one here. We'll just set those aside. And I'll bring back over. If you want to go back to the overhead, you can see the process again of how we're going to use the light box here. So I've got my template, my circle template down, and I'll put my design on it. And then I'll just be able to take one of my earrings. Oops, I've got it upside down. Good thing I noticed that. There we go. So I'll take my earring now, line up the hole again. And this way, this ensures that my design gets it positioned in the same way. So it'll be positioned the same way front to back. So we'll just put our heat resistance tape on there. And then I'll do the second design the same way. So I'll line up my design. And then I'll put I line up the pinhole there. And we'll put this back on and then back into the heater for 60 seconds. And while that's in the heater, I'll show you all. I'm just going to do that sublimation sandwich again. So butcher paper, blank, sublimation paper, and then the butcher paper. So while we're waiting on that one, I do have some other designs, a teardrop style design here. So I found these on Creative Fabrica, and this was how they came out. So I am amazed at how shiny they are. And I see earrings in the market all the time. And I think to myself, like, oh, I could make those. I don't think I'd buy those. But I had never made them before. And I'm obsessed. I think they're so fun. And I think what will get people to purchase them, number one, is the customization that you can add to them. So, for example, the foxes. One of the neighborhoods in our area is called Fox Mill, and we have foxes that run through the neighborhood. So I was telling somebody, one of my neighbors, about these earrings and the fox design and everything like that, and she's like, I kind of want a pair of those. And so she asked me if I would make a pair of the earrings for her because of the foxes. And of course, I said, yes, absolutely. So that's a way that I hit a niche kind of unexpectedly that I didn't know was there. That I didn't think anybody else really loved the foxes in the neighborhood like I do. But that really definitely was a niche that I was able to hit. And that was just talking to a neighbor about the cute design and everything. So here's our tailgate. And these are great too because doing like the tailgates and the sports, your team moms can wear them. And if you do them for, say, like if you do the earrings for the senior moms, then you could do, maybe the team name on the front and then their senior's picture on the back side of the earrings. Would be a very fun way to do your earrings. So I'm just going to set that aside for a minute and we'll go
Kesley,
ahead and get.
I'm sorry, where did you get the earrings from?
The earrings are from, I pulled it up. Let me just double check I didn't leave it open. The earrings, I think it is Heat Press Nation has a whole kit of kind of like beginner earrings and things like that you could do, and it gives you like a little collection of different earrings in different sizes. These, I thought I had gotten them on Amazon, and I was trying to pull up the link, but I couldn't pull it up. But I have seen them on Amazon, so that's always an option. There, if that helps. But the Heat Press Nation did have a whole kit of different types of earrings, and Heat Transfer Warehouse has these really cute flower earrings, which I thought would just be so fun for fall.
If
So
you know anybody or if you're on Facebook, Search for people that do custom cut MDF, and you
Mhm.
can find some amazingly cute earring blanks. I have little gnomes. I have Santas, snowmen, flamingos, a witch's cauldron with the feet, and coffins. There's a whole nother world out there for earrings.
There really is. I mean, and there are some amazing things. I think also that you I didn't know about that, the gnomes. What's will you say it again on Facebook what it was?
Um, Search for custom cut MDF groups. I know one of them
Okay.
is Hailbound Blanks. They are where I got my flamingos, my snowmen. Another one I believe is ACC Blanks, maybe. I think that is where I got my guitar picks and my ice skates. And it just, you have to look for those Facebook groups that are private groups run by people with a laser selling their blanks.
I, I was going to pull up too. If you have a laser cutter, that is a great way to tie in your laser cutter with your sublimation, is to get the MDF boards and then cut out your own shapes. And again, that will set you apart from the market. So if you go to your local craft event, you may see a lot of circle or teardrop earrings. So if your designs don't set you apart, then the shapes can set you apart as well. And you can mix and match too, especially I don't know if the other places have ideas for mixing your earring design with, say, the earring design with a whatchamacallit, with like a coaster or something like that, or even like the fox is a very natural outdoorsy type of image. So you may want to do like a wind chime design with the fox would be really cute. So you could kind of, if it's definitely a hot item in your area, again, your sports teams, you can add multiple products with kind of the same image. That one kind of got, I should, that's why I like to use my light board. I keep my images centered that way. So let's just do this last guy here, and then I'll show you how we assemble our earrings. So again, I'm doing that butcher paper sandwich, and we'll turn it over so that my sublimation paper is on the top. Also, a fun thing, I know like if you are on social media and sometimes you may struggle with like, well, what kind of post should I put? Um, if you were to take your earrings and say you had like like this is in North Carolina, maybe Tar Heels kind of colors, maybe you do another one in like Ohio State colors, like the red and the gray, and you could say, which one, the Ohio State versus the North Carolina. If you have, like if you do Kansas City Chiefs and the Washington Commanders and you could do like who's going to win the game this weekend, and just kind of like put up fun things like that on your social media. That will also help people engage with what you're posting and what you're sharing. So that will increase your engagement. Is it this or that kind of thing? Is always fun. Now, the earrings should come with hardware. You can add additional little embellishment pieces or additional designs. So, like if you wanted to add additional beads, you could increase your jump rings here. That's what this ring at the end of the earring is called. Let me see if I can get that. I put it in here. No, that's not good. Let me see if I put it on here. And I'm going to bring this up close to the camera so you guys can see kind of what you get. You get an earring with the jump ring on it, and then you have a clasp that you can see. Does that bring it closer? There we go. So it has this little lobster clasp here, your earring and your jump ring. If you wanted to make your earrings hang longer or add more beads into there, you would do that between this earring jump ring and this piece here. You can just add, I was hoping I had some extra jump rings, but you can just add a couple extra jump rings to it to help it go down a little bit longer or add more beads or anything like that onto it. So I use these needle nose pliers, and they're for crafting. So they tend to be a little bit gentler, and they haven't been out in the warehouse. So you just open that up. So, and then you can attach it to your earrings. So having the needle nose part of it, this is flat inside. It's not rough, so it doesn't grab it, but it just will help close it back up. Because once you get it in there, you just want to close it up. So we just hold it and then come on in and close that into the earring space. Now, sometimes you can do this with your hands. You don't need your tools. You can just kind of push it with your fingers. But I always kind of like to use my tools and make sure it goes in nice and firm there. So you just put that in the hole and you give it a little push there. And then for your jump ring will have a little opening to it. So it's not a full circle. It does open up, and you just hold it in one hand and pull it open. So you twist it sort of towards you and away from you, and then you attach your jewelry onto there, hold it, and then twist it back. So you don't really open that up at all. You just kind of twist it that way. And then if you have a Cricut machine or a Silhouette machine or your Caesar Juliet, you can cut out earring holder cards to put your earrings on. Now, if you do that, you may want to run them through your printer and add your business information on it if you're selling these, in person. So somebody can pick that up and then they'll have your name for the next time they want to purchase more earrings. So we just pull that open. We'll slide that right in there. And then we just close this up. That just really, it's really easy, but I do recommend having, a separate pair of tools just for your jewelry. There we go. And then we'll just close that back up like that. And there we go. That's all I have to do for those earrings. And then the teardrop earrings will go together the same way. Let me grab those off the printer. So we have our fox here. Now I did the fox on both sides, but I could also do, our zip code on one side and the fox on the other side. Or if I wanted to put Fox Mill Woods on there, so it would be like the Fox Mill Woods neighborhood could go on there. And that gives it that special unique look. So let's just grab our lobsters and the hooks themselves. You can also get additional types of earring findings at your local craft store. So you could do pierced earrings if you wanted to. You could do clip-on earrings if you wanted to. All kinds of different earrings. These also make cute charms. So if you happen to make bags or totes, you can always just use these as zipper pulls if you wanted to. You could just, add another jump ring on here and then attach it to a zipper. And then that becomes part of your zipper pull instead of being an earring. So, think about these in kind of different ways too, than just being earrings. But I do love if you have a design that's popular, putting it into different types of blanks. So if you do this design and you're like, oh wow, that fox is selling really well, again, go on your social media page and say, hey, this everyone seems to be loving the fox. What else would you like to see it on? Do you want to see it on a mug? Do you want to see it on a t-shirt? What else do you want to see it on? And have people tell you, oh, I would buy that in a mug or a tumbler or, whatever else they'd want. Okay, let me just close that right up. I'll go like that. And don't be shy if you have questions about making the earrings, or if you have ideas you want to share of how you've put your earrings on your social media, or how you've been starting to think about social media a little bit differently since Rhonda's workshop. I'd love to hear that. Share your ideas with us. I'm going to open up my stuff.
To unlock your iPhone first.
Oops. Okay, here we go. I just want to make sure I haven't missed any questions. I know Rhodes is probably busy answering them all for you guys.
We're good on questions right now.
Okay, great. All right. So those are two ideas there. Now this little fox I got that from Creative Fabrica, and I'm pretty sure that just here for the tailgate, this one is in the Sawgrass My Designs software under the designs. I just think I wasn't typing in the right thing to pull it up. Now, one other thing I thought I would share with you guys that was fun. We were talking about I always keep my does. So if I print something out and it doesn't work for what I want it to work for, or I print too many of them, sometimes, you may accidentally print an extra sheet. So I have a sheet of designs I printed for the little Stanley toppers. I had made a bunch of different designs for that. And so we took one of the designs and added that so it's got my parents on it, putting up a little love in the sunset. And then my daughter was like, it doesn't have enough pizzazz with it. So we took a silver painty pen and added a silver touch around the edge of the earrings to sort of bring out the design a little bit more. So again, if you're using images that you have that people that you shared, maybe you haven't used them yet, you've got them in a pile somewhere, like, oops, I printed too many of that. You can always grab them and see if they'll work for your design. And I think actually another reason we did the silver on the earrings was because the print was just a little bit smaller than we needed for the teardrop. So let's see if I can show, you can see the design there. If I took this one, there's a little white edge there that doesn't quite make it. And then in the circle, we didn't have like a good picture there. So let's see if any of these other ones would work. So I could do that for those guys. I could do my face on one of them. Let's see if this would work. Nope. And that one would be cute. So you could just kind of, like, if you have something that you've printed out that you want to sort of play around with, you can do that. Now, it may make a difference because, for example, these were printed with settings for plastic and not for hardwood. So they may not be quite the right color setting for that, but we can try it. So let's just grab a pair of the earrings and we'll pull these in. I think adding that painting pen really added unexpected touch to these. And this is, again, where your customization feature will really be helpful for you if you're selling your earrings, that people can go on the website and pick a design and upload their design to the earrings. But we just got those. We'll print those off. Okay.
And you do need to remember when you work with MDF, I watched you do it, but you didn't say you were doing it. Remove that plastic.
Do you want to know something? That's what I know we've had this in our workshop before. These do not have plastic on them.
Oh, I thought I just saw you removing it.
I haven't removed it. I just clean it.
Oh, maybe you were cleaning it, and out of the corner of my eye, I thought you were removing it, and I was like, yay, she remembered, because I always forgot.
I know. The first time I was like scraping at it to remove the plastic. So a lot of times, your MDF will have like just a protective sleeve on it that you just have to peel off before you can sublimate it. And I know exactly what you're talking about. And with these earrings, I literally scratched one up because I was like, I'm not going to make the same mistake I always make with these. So it's funny you say that.
one of the telltale signs is if they come packaged and they have small sheets of tissue paper in between them, there's no coating. That's the tissue paper is to protect them.
They
Most
don't always come that way though.
no,
I've gotten them where they're just in a big old bundle and there's no plastics.
and but if you take just the edge of
Right.
one and you just kind of lightly touch the top of your heat press platen in the area that you touched, you'll be able to see it'll melt right away and you can pull it off.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good way.
Or you can do like I do,
Forget it.
and wait till you smell it burning under the press and then go for the second set.
And and one time I actually have printed on the sublimate on that little plastic part, took it off and redid it. And it turned out okay. But yeah, I really did. I peeled at these and peeled at these, and there was no paper in them. So it's funny you say that.
Do you know at times, and I've had it happen with metal and MDF, just let it go, let it finish, and then pull the plastic off. A lot of times it still sublimates, and depending on the size, it you can't tell on the quality. I did they were very small. They were very small metal inserts for a Christmas ornament for my aunt. And I actually had removed the plastic and set them all up and then promptly grabbed a bunch that had plastic on them.
Oh.
And then sublimated, and I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And I pulled it off and I'm like, oh, this is so small and it's just Aunt Carol, so we're good.
So it still works. Well, it's just amazing, isn't it? Like what you can get away with, and it's trial and error. So this is another printout I had that I did these little wraps for pencils. Pens. So I had some extra printout, and I thought, well, these are really cute, and I wanted to share with you using the different designs and getting different like different designs on each side of the earrings. So I could do a dark and light design, or this is really cute. These two together would be really cute, and these two together would be really cute little designs. And if you find something that works, I'll get my designs here. If you again, this is where you could test out a pattern, and if you're bringing in new patterns for the season or something like that, you could test out those patterns and see if people like a certain pattern, or if it goes in your market or not, with a very small investment. So if you did like 3 of each earring, look how cute. His head gets cut off a little bit, and if you have a design like this where maybe you don't want to do a picture on each side, you could do a little come back and do a little pattern on the other side. Now I do when I usually do images on earrings, I would mirror one image so it wasn't the same image on your ear. Like I would mirror one over the other. That's what we did, I think, with my pumpkins, these little guys here. I mirrored those images because I just didn't want the pumpkins necessarily to be the same on each side. Now these were not, yeah. Are these mirrored? These were not mirrored. So it's the same on each side. No, there they go, like that. So I have that little pumpkin over there and that pumpkin over there. Something like this overall design, it doesn't really make that big a difference. But when you're looking at, definitely when you're doing text or something like that, you may want to flip them. And if you're putting your design at an angle, you don't want two angled this way. You want them angled down, alternating that way. So let's see, I can just take these little guys, our teardrops here, and we'll put those on here, and we'll just do those up. Are something to think about. Like if you're doing a market in the holidays, you could have the designs ready to go and actually let people design their own earrings. So you could have just a kind of like a, kids, if you're doing a market with kids, we've talked about this before, if you can engage the children in making a purchase, they will get really creative. So if you happen to have a bunch of holiday themed little pieces left over, you can kind of put those in a bin and have your materials on site for kids to make their own design if they wanted to. So they could pick out their own papers and make their own designs, and then you press it for them, and then they get to pick it out afterwards and add the earrings, add the hardware to it for them. You could add that. But once you've got the design done, they could just come in and pick out the base that they want and then the little colors that they want to go with it. And this is a real simple thing that they can make themselves. And you can do that as a keychain area, like if you want to have kids do keychains. And then once you've pressed it, you could have out some painty pens and they could come in and just add, I want my hands to shake. You could just add that little bit of line there around the design, or they could do, a name. So if they're making these for their mom, they could say like #1 mom on them and really kind of give it a custom look that way. I'm going to end up covering up more of his face there. Also, I always think like if you're doing a Christmas party with the family or Thanksgiving, you could do earrings for place holdings, like where people are supposed to sit. You could do a pair of earrings for everybody. All right, I'm not so good at doing this live. There we go. It looks cute, but it doesn't look as good as when I did it before. But isn't that fun? Just that little touch of metallic on there really gives it a different look. Okay, let's see how these turned out. And we'll do the other side. So I would love to know if you guys want to just drop in the chat or the question and answer. If after Rhonda's session last week, how many of you were motivated to do a little bit of update or work on your social media platforms? Did you, maybe I was thinking, like I said, I meant to update my profile. Now I'm gonna have to do that for next week. But was there something that you happened to do after Rhonda's class that maybe will help set you up for success in the fall? If anybody wants to share anything they did, feel free to pop it in. Or if you're looking for help, maybe you're struggling with something. Maybe you're like, oh, I don't know what to call my business. I don't know how to promote it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tape these down. I was going to go rogue and just not tape them down. Should I do that? Okay, let's give it a try. I'm not going to tape these down. We'll just give it a try there. Okay, and we'll throw that in the machine, 400 degrees for 60 seconds. And I love how quickly, I mean, you can really see how quickly you can make these, your earrings, and you can really get a lot done. So you could do a whole bunch in one session of your earrings. We've got these guys here. And again, I know we've talked about the kids. So I'm going to grab one more thing that I didn't pull out, but we're going to pull out one thing. I think if I can put my fingers on it easily. I had another bucket of beads. I guess I can't put my fingers on it. But if you had some big chunky beads and you wanted to make these into tags for zippers or keychains, you could always add these to a keychain as like a little hang tags. I think it's a really fun idea. Okay, so let's see. This will be our last set, and then we'll make these into earrings. Oh, look how pretty. Even goes faster when you don't have it taped down. But isn't that beautiful? So we'll just grab our hardware again. Pop that open and put that there. Pop that one open too. So I've seen these also for sale anywhere from $8.99 to about $12.99. I think if I were doing a design that was not custom, ooh, that is hot. Not custom in the sense that like the fox versus just here for the tailgate in the school colors. So I might do something like this, a little bit less expensive than something that is custom to my market. And especially if you got all the senior moms and you make earrings for all the senior moms with their kids' pictures in it, that would be super cute and a good, a good sales opportunity. So, you figure you've got 10 or 12 seniors per class and you're making 10 or 12 earrings for $12 a set or $10 to $12 a set. That's $100. And you could do that literally in a couple, like 3 hours. And your cost of goods is pretty good. I don't know the breakout of the cost per earring, but again, if you're doing something fancy or different, it may be a little bit more expensive. All right. So that's how easily they go together. And then you just have your cutout. Now, if you didn't have, say, a laser cutter to do a little board like this, I have seen just to be able to purchase them as blank boards. And then you could always stamp it with your business information or handwrite your business information on there if you wanted to. I've seen those at Michael's, just plain boards like this that you can attach your jewelry to and hang that up and sell it. And then I do one more little tip for everybody. If you're doing a market, you have, I know, Rose, can you run the switch back over to the front facing one again? If you're doing a market, this is a Christmas ornament hanger that I have, but I was like, oh, that's cute you could put a lot of different earrings onto one thing. I have you could just take out your different cards and things like that and hang those onto here. One thing I like about this sort of design is you can really see it from a distance, the earrings and things like that. This was also a really fun, we grabbed one other one, a fun way to display earrings. These easels are at the dollar store and they are sublimatable. So you can do a sublimation design on the back of it with your earrings just clipped to the top or put some thumbtacks in the top and hang your earrings on there. You could do them as a display for, if you're doing school specific. So if you have 3 or 4 schools in your area, you could do a display for each school. You could do it for each sport or anything like that. And then on the back here, in the bottom, you could have your business information on the bottom or the price of the earrings or anything like that you wanted to put on there. But this was just a really easy way to display the earrings, and they're on an easel, so they'll stay up on your space. A craft fair, so you could do like a teardrop and a circle for each theme if you wanted to. All right, guys. Well, that is everything I had. And thank you so much for joining us. Again, don't forget that this is being recorded. The class has been recorded, so you can watch it anytime. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks, Rose. You did a great job, too.
Thank you, Kesley. Thank you, everyone. Like she says, we will have this posted into our academy in the next couple of days. Hope everyone enjoys the rest of your time, or rest of your day, I should say. Have a nice rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Great job, Kesley. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.